Okay, so this hatch is repurposed from the forward bulkhead door in the boat that I didn't want, so I repurposed that nice teak plywood and made a storm hatch, basically. You know, you you roll 360 one time 40 years ago and you never forget it. So that's basically the kind of typical slat type. And then what I've done is I put a handle here that I can just grab when I come down, and it makes it really easy to close the hatch, which on these kind of boats, they typically don't have a handle or anything like that, and you don't run into it when the hatch is open. It's like that. Anyway, so this is my galley. This is all new. I designed the bamboo, which is of course the light stuff, designed that in CAD, and then had it all laser cut. So all the dish racks, all of that in there is part of the same piece of plywood that made the counter. And of course we're in harbor mode, so nothing's put away. Knives are out. Very nice sink. If you saw the sinks that were in this before, you would just, yeah, they were completely useless. Could not even get a plate in one, and they didn't work anyway. There was no pressure water on the boat when I got it. Basically, this is manual. This is manual fresh water, and then this is seawater here, and none of that worked. So anyway, nice big cooler. This is, where the silverware goes. The stove works awesome. Very happy with that. So on the Mark I, this area right here is actually a bunk. So that was basically a kind of a pipe berth in there. And the boat was really designed for weekend racing, or literally weekend racing. It could sleep 7 people. So basically, again, I just designed these in CAD and had those CNC cut, and then of course again the bamboo on top was laser cut, and built that in. This was a solid bulkhead on both sides here, so I added just some kind of a short hanging locker. And when you're underway, you can use that as a end table, and you can adjust the height with the line there. It works pretty well. What else did I modify in here? I guess that's about it. Yes, of course. This is the head. Not much to say about it. The V-berth was completely repurposed. I pulled everything out that was a berth oriented, and I repurposed these tan and kind of burgundy pieces that Yamaha, those were in the pipe berths, and they were just kind of conveniences for the pipe berth. And I just repurposed everything in the channels here so I can hang line. And of course, I'm getting ready to go to the mainland, so everything is packed up. So now the next thing was the nav station. Now those 2 nav panels up there, those are stock. I added a couple of circuits and the voltage and amperage meters there, and then I added a 2000 watt inverter and that switch there, so I can go from shore power to inverter. That's all new down there. There's a solar controller for my solar panels. There are 5 batteries in 3 different banks, and part of that down there is the inverter control. And then all those circuit breakers down there, they are well, basically they service either the completely the solar array. The 3 on the right are completely for the solar array, and the 2 on the left are the incoming breakers for the 3 battery banks. 5 batteries, 3 battery banks. All of this is new. There weren't any useful electronics on the boat. Nothing worked when I got it. So I put in a AIS transceiver VHF radio here. That ties into a CTOC next generation, well, I guess CTOC NG network. The radar, the 3D sonar, the radio here, the VHF, the stereo up there, and the MFD here are all tied in on the network, along with the autopilot. So I can control, right now you can see that I have the chart up for my area right here at the harbor, and then these boats here, these are all AIS identified boats, and I can query any of those and find out, oh, that's a cool cat. That's pretty cool, right? And then of course we have radar, and if you're kind of I'm not really sure how to kind of characterize Doppler radar, but if you're cruising offshore, or basically anywhere, I guess, the Doppler radar basically shows you whether or not the target is moving towards you or away. So that's basically just what the Doppler is about. It's pretty cool. I can run pretty much anything from here. Like I say, I can run the autopilot. I can run my I can run my stereo. Got my dashboard, and just for instance, right now this is the navigation, but what it's showing me is it's showing me the apparent wind. I can go to here to see what the apparent wind is in knots and the direction. I can go through these different screens. This navigation screen is primarily for my autopilot. The autopilot can be controlled from the helm back there at the tiller with a repeater, or it can be done here. And of course, you know, if I was going to leave and I wanted to chart a course, I can always do things like place a waypoint, right? And so now I've got a waypoint here, and I can tell the autopilot to steer to that waypoint. Oops, come on, jeez. Oh, where am I at? Where am I at? That's not what I want. Right. I can go to my oh, here, actually, just go like this. So my autopilot is tied in there. I can steer to any heading I want. I can steer the boat, you know, jog the boat from here. I can tell it to steer to the apparent wind angle that I want, so that you know, if I'm sleeping, I'd rather go a bit off course if the wind shifts than to broach the boat or jibe or tack. So anyway, so all of this is new, and it's yeah, it's all current technology. It's quite a network, I have to say. I was just laying the network in was quite a task. But there you have it. These are new, by the way, the trailer lights. But these were screwed on, and you had to unscrew them to access. I just hinged them and kind of refinished them. I've got some nice LED lighting going in under here. There's a dimmable touch control here. It's going in, and seven LEDs under the counter. I mean, yeah, and yeah, and then this is the only sleeping quarters that I decided to keep. When I'm underway, I can sleep in either of these, and if you see the lug at the far end there, I can readjust the seat up at that angle, and I can sleep in either bunk on any tack, and I'm kind of snugged in pretty nicely. But when I'm underway, I won't be sleeping back here. I'll be sleeping on one of these forward bunks. And yeah, so that's it. Anyway, that's Shogun.